everyone. I have a Miracles Do Happen story to read to you guys tonight. It is called A Human Fireball by Judy Parrott. This is a true story. Have you ever seen a house collapse before your eyes? That is what the neighbors saw when Owen's house blew up. He shot right through the wall of the house between the studs. Wow. Taking the chunks of plaster, laughed right out with him. All the neighbors could see was a fireball flying onto the lawn as Owen was on fire from head to toe. What happens to skin when polyester pants light up is not pretty. The fibers weave themselves into the body like glue. But God was with Owen, putting up one barrier after another to protect him. He flew out of the wall, left with only his belt, pants pockets, and jacket. The pants had completely dissolved before they could embed into his legs. The situation started when Owen decided to put city water in his house and connect to city sewer. His plumber hired a man to dig a trench in his yard, but the backhoe operator was drunk. Circumstances came together to create a disaster. A nearby factory had shut down, but the gas lines that supplied it were still under pressure and led also to Owen's property. The inebriated driver didn't notice the small warning flags posted on the ground. As he dug the trench, he accidentally pulled up the gas-filled line. Owen had just entered the basement to turn off his own line at the very moment an enormous supply of gas gushed into his furnace. The furnace exploded, lighting him on fire as a huge fireball worked its way up the stairwell, shooting the human cannonball right through the plaster and out of the house, shattering the cedar siding as he slammed into it. Owen felt time slow down and watched in fascination as flames flowed over him. His nylon jacket melted to his body, the cotton lining insulating him from the fire. The only parts of him on fire were his legs, face, and hands. 32% of his body received third-degree burns, meaning all the skin was burned off. Tender nerve endings were damaged and destroyed. Meanwhile, his wife and daughter were still in the house, which rose off the foundation. An upright grand piano was covered with Owen's bowling trophies, and a marble trophy soared into Bernice's head, later requiring stitches. She could easily have been killed as those trophies flew around the room, but God had his angels at work. A person might ask, if God is in control, why did she get hurt at all? If she had not been hit, she and her child would have reached the front door and been crushed to death as the house came down and landed in the basement. Instead, they escaped through the hole made by Owen's fiery body. Just as the house collapsed behind them, it was all over in 7 minutes. Owen's story is amazing. Not a bone was broken during his flight from the house. His glasses remained on. His recovery in the burn center was remarkable. The process of removing dead tissue after severe burns is terribly painful, but not once did he even cry out, which is nearly impossible except for God's grace and mercy. Owen listens to God. At the hospital, he was told it would likely take about 6 months before he could leave the hospital. He said he would be home by his daughter's birthday, 15 days away, and he made it. The doctor expected Owen to get pneumonia from breathing in while he was on fire, but he didn't. The doctor was also prepared to graft skin, but God grew it all new skin without the need for any grafts, and he didn't have one scar on his entire body. All these things we are more than convinced God had done through his love for Owen. Just ask the human fireball. God is faithful to perform miracles when we need them. Amen. Wow, you can't describe that any other way.